A forest bursts into flames, but it's climate change the liberal blames. Yeah, the Oak Fire destroyed more than 100 homes and 20,000 acres in the Yosemite National Forest, or Yosemite. It occurred last July. Just days after it started, with very little known about its cause, liberals were quick to blame it on global warming. I'm surprised it wasn't racism, Trump, or gluten. One Senate nitwit tweeting, worsening drought and severe weather will only continue to put lives and property at risk from wildfire if we don't take climate action now. And here's Al Gore 3 days after it sparked, jabbering on about the end of the world.
More people will be killed, and the survival of our civilization is at stake. That's why the heat records are being broken all the time now. That's why the storms are stronger, why the ice is melting and the sea level is rising, and why the droughts and fires are hitting us so hard, and so many other consequences.
He loves the planet so much, he's starting to look like one. But turns out it wasn't climate change at all. Nope. It was this guy, a former firefighter and Democratic donor, Edward Wackerman. Oh, man. That must have been a great last name growing up. He was arrested just last week on arson charges. Wackerman reportedly donated more than $1,700 to Democratic candidates and committees since 2020. And he gave $400 to the Lincoln Project. You know, it's the group of creepy never-Trumpers. Just look at them. They're like the most pathetic row of strip club customers ever. You imagine being the lady looking down at that? I just slit my wrists. But it looks like Wackerman was right about the threat of global warming. He just left out the part where he was the one holding the matches. And that was met with silence, Joe, perhaps anticipating something you might say that will bring laughter to their hearts.
I hope so, Greg. I'll tell you what, though.
There you go. I knew you could do it.
Greg, you're saying everything is caused by climate change. It's emotional manipulation to scare people into making them to do what you want, and it's wrong. But it's a good strategy. I use it whenever I ask a woman out. I say that if they say no, that I'll kill myself. I'm just joking. They still say no.
Yeah. Do you ever try to trick them with a call later that you're saying, I'm dead. If you hear this phone call, I am dead. I am dead. This phone call was recorded. And then you drive around their house like 6 times. You ever do that?
No, but I have followed them home.
Yes. And then you say, aha, I'm not really dead. You want to still go out with me?
No, I say I was following someone else who also lives in your home.
Yeah, all right, Kat. Are we unfair bringing up the donor's history when, in fact, it's that kind of history that causes people like him to go crazy over the whole climate issue? So maybe he deserves it. What say you?
Well, I think that first, the way some people have talked about climate issues, the fact that it appears to have been an arson situation, I don't think that they would say, okay, it still could be climate because of what you said, because he is so upset about the climate. Or how many times have we heard that people are doing bad things because of climate change?
Exactly.
We've heard that already. So they've kind of covered all their bases.
Yeah, it's true.
There's nothing that can ever not be climate change if everything is.
It's just like the Kevin Bacon of issues, right? 6 degrees of separation. This is just now 2 degrees of separation. Climate change didn't cause the fires. It caused the guy anxiety that led to him starting the fires. So he still took 2 steps to get back to climate, or 3 if you count Kevin Bacon playing a fireman.
And unfortunately, most people don't talk about this, right? People have already made up their minds that it was the climate, and they're not even going to think about this or address it.
That is true, KT. Is this the correct definition of the word ironic? Or is it a...
I was going to say hypocrite.
Hypocrite's a better word.
Much better word. But, you know, Al Gore, who talks about climate change all the time, he's been talking about, 20 years ago he said that the polar ice caps would be all melted within the decade. And then you have Greta Thunberg, and she's saying, don't even have children because the world's going to be over by then.
Today was supposed to be, I think today was the day it was supposed to end.
I do believe.
Yeah.
So what are we doing here?
I have no idea. This could all be a hologram. And we could all, we are
Oh,
all,
no,
we're
AI.
all
It's all
underground.
AI. Generative AI. We're all artificial.
Yeah, exactly. I know I am. I'm as fake as they come. By the way, the wildfires in Canada. Everybody was telling me that they're started by arsonists, and like I'm pretty certain most of them are, and I did research by doing none. Jamie? Oh, I'm sorry. What did you want to?
It turns out, that was the first thing everybody said. Those Canadian wildfires were all going blind, right? Don't go out of your house, you're going to die. And it turns out that it wasn't global warming. It was because of the environmentalists who weren't letting them, burn the underbrush.
There were also some crazy people that were lighting the fire.
Well, yeah, Canada.
Jamie, it's got to be hard living in Alaska and being an arsonist. What have you done to somehow change your interests and hobbies?
Yeah, the match just keeps going out. The only good thing is those Canadian fires only burn 70% as intense as the American. That joke didn't work because of climate change. Did you see in this article, the headline of this article, it said that it was a ginormous inferno? Mm-hmm. I'm going to be totally honest, I did not know ginormous was a real word.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that. I have not heard that word since this one time I took my penis out at the park. Seriously, this cop was like, hey, you're going to get a ginormous fine for that tiny thing.
There you go.
And by the way, Greg, in these troubling times, sometimes I record some advice that I like to share.
Please.
With people.
Lisso's Lessons, tips from a divorced dad.
Hey kids, do you know what the strongest part of your body is? Your brain. So give it a workout and think of a really believable excuse to skip school.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.